What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video with Havoc the Degen. I'm Havoc the Degen. If you're watching this video, chances are you're a little bit of a degen as well. So keep in mind, this is not meant to be financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is me sharing my opinion of a project, what I think about it, and whatever else comes to mind. With that being said, today I am going over Walrus Finance. Now, Walrus Finance has actually not launched yet. They are set to launch within, I believe, 24 hours. They're going to open up their Genesis pools and get started. The reason I'm really excited about this, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I really like the tomb forks that are pegged to a stablecoin. This one is pegged to UST. So without further ado, let's dive in. However, before we do, you know what we got to do. We are currently sitting at 135 subscribers. Thank you so much for helping me get to that point. If you're watching this, you enjoy these videos, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to smash the like button and drop me a comment. Let me know, is there another project that is out, that's coming up, something that I should be looking into or covering? Now, let's get back to what you really came here for, Walrus Finance. So we're gonna start out right in the docs. Basically, Frozen Walrus Finance. What is it? Well, again, it's a tomb fork with a stable coin peg, meaning they're going to be focused on keeping that peg around the $1 mark. Now, in using UST, I think there is a huge following of people that are big fans of Luna, and UST itself being an algorithmic stablecoin. I think there's an audience for this that is already very familiar with the space, very familiar with algorithmic stablecoins. And for that reason, I think this could really be something big. The first thing I noticed when they come in here is they have the beginner's guide. They're giving you all the terms. What is everything? What does it mean? What's an auto compounder? What's currency, daily APR, all that fun stuff. So they're starting out by educating. And I think that's something a lot of protocols miss for people who don't understand how the seigniorage algorithm works, however you say it. But Frozen Walrus is focused on educating right off the bat. I think that's huge. For people who haven't been a part of a tomb fork yet, they haven't really experienced this, they can seem really technical. I mean, it's a lot more technical than buying 10 of a coin, turning it into a node and receiving X amount of coins every day. So they're giving you all the bridges for people who don't currently have AVAX. They're starting right there. Here's how you get into AVAX. Talking about Avalanche C-Chain, how to get that set up in your wallet, going where you're going to find the charts, where you're going to find the liquidity, all of that. And then they're actually going as far as teaching you how to add liquidity to the pools. Then we've got a quick breakdown on what a tomb fork is. So if Walrus is greater than the value of UST, the boardroom will inflate the supply of Walrus. Now, if it is not over the 1.01 mark, it's not going to continue to print, which is where the farms are really nice, because the farms where you actually LP your walrus are going to make it possible for you to continually earn W share. In short, this push and pull of supply constantly adds and reduces volatility to walrus. Similar to a rubber band effect, the supply expands and contracts to become less and less volatile and more in line with the 1-to-1 value of UST. And I love this warning. This warning is so great because so many people freak out when something goes under peg. They said it is important to understand these protocols are meant to go under peg at some point. Once inflation becomes unsustainable, there are measures in place to contract the supply and bring you back over peg to then start the cycle over. There is money to be made on both sides of the peg, and hopefully after reading this documentation, you have a better understanding of how to do that. I'm going to link the docs page underneath this video so that if you want to go through it and check it out on your own, you can see that. Is the team doxed or KYC'd? That's always a big question, right? Are they doxed? Are they KYC'd? Well, thankfully, having been featured in multiple AMAs, YouTube interviews, the owner or founder is completely doxed to the DeFi community. Due to this, the rationale for getting a KYC is still being discussed. If everybody knows who you are already, then do you really need to get a KYC? There's an interview right here. You can hear from the founder all about this. Dow King did that. He does some amazing videos in the tomb fork space and really in the DeFi space altogether. So what do I do with my farming boardroom rewards? Well, it's a free market. Nobody can tell you what to do. There are multiple strategies. I don't know if they're going to go over those here. Typically, you split it up between a couple different pools and you take 10% of your profits on each of the claims. And that's how you build while still taking profits and whatnot. And there's a ton of different ways you can do it. But I think that's the most popular one, pin racking, if I'm not mistaken. So tokens, they have Walrus and they have Walrus shares. Here we're going to see the total supply. So the DAO wallet, 4,500 share over 12 months. Dev wallet, 4,640 share over 12 months. Farming rewards, 50,860 W share. Emissions will end May 2023. So you'll notice if we look at the emissions rate or the expansion rate, it's a larger number when there are fewer shares out there. So the larger the circulating supply, the lower the expansion rate. So this is why it's good usually to get in early on a lot of these things, which is why I want to get this video out early, really covering something that I'm going to be going into myself, giving everybody the fair shot to get in early if it's something that you wanted to do. They talk about bonds a little bit. I'm not somebody who usually buys bonds. Let's see, boardroom still under construction, taxes. Okay, so this is something a little bit different from some of the Tomb forks that we have seen, and I'm starting to see this in new ones that are popping up. I think we're going to start to see this more and more as Tomb forks advance. And this is really just something that they're doing in order to create a more sustainable environment for all the people involved. So basically, as long as you leave it in there for at least 6 weeks, you're not paying any taxes, right? But if you're somebody who's buying the dip and you're throwing it in there to try and get a couple of quick rebases or get a couple of quick epoch wins, then yeah, you're gonna get hit with a tax. And this is, again, if you wanted to unstake the total amount. This is not on your rewards, which I've also seen Tomb forks start to do that. I'm not a huge fan of the big taxes on the rewards, but I do see the value in doing this for people who stake and then unstake right away. Anytime a protocol can be more sustainable and less volatile and still have a high yield, like, I'm all about it. Then we got the rebates. This is going back to bonds. Basically, this is where you get a bonus for buying the bonds if you wanted to do that. And then we have vesting, which vesting is not something that all Tomb forks are doing. It is something that I think is a good move on their part because they're trying to create this sustainable ecosystem or environment where the Walrus token is pegged 1-to-1 to UST. They have different pieces they've put in place to accommodate for that. So then we see the DAO fund. Basically, this is the treasury fund. You can read about that. Roadmap. If we go here, they're going to go to What the Fork. They're going to go to Tomb Raider sponsors, debank listing, auto compounders, DeFi Llama, a UI UX redesign, airdrop for node holders, strategy pages, raffles, LP nodes, audit, KYC. So I mean, this is this is pretty typical. This is what they should be doing. So that's a good thing. Q3 2022, we're going to see some NFT games. VE Walrus, which is, if I'm not mistaken, a boosted version of emissions. And they're actually going to do their own in-house auto compounder where fees buy and burn Walrus. So that's pretty cool. A merch store. I don't know if I would wear a Walrus shirt. I guess it depends on how much money it made me. If it made me a bunch of money, I'd definitely wear a Walrus shirt or a hat, or maybe get some Walrus boxers. Educational video series. Again, I see them being really heavy on the educational side, which has me really excited about this because I think that's the biggest thing that's missing in the Tomb fork arena, if you will. And that is it. Walrus Finance, frozenwalrus.finance. I'm going to put the link down below in the description. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop me a comment. What is another project that I should be checking out, looking into, and doing a review or a deep dive into? With that, I will see you on the next video. Take care.